Los Angeles.
No.
And you don't belong in Columbus.
No, you're rationalizing failure. You're just so accustomed to it now. Are you kidding?
So now it's my turn. I know exactly what I have to do to make sure that future never occurs. Go back to Ohio tomorrow morning. I didn't tell Jessica until I was about to turn right to head back.
Wait, Adam, we need to go west.
I can't.
It's okay, we're gonna be fine. You've worked your whole life for this.
Why wouldn't I go back to Ohio?
I believed her, and I turned left. I continued on the journey, and I knew this time I'd do it right. And I said the same thing when I met Charlotte. And the closer we got to Aspen, the more certain I was that I had made the right choices to make it work. And it still didn't. And I was just as devastated. As the journey continued, I continued to make the same choices because I was certain they were right. And when it came to me and Jess, as much as we both wanted it not to be so, she didn't belong in Los Angeles. And I no longer belonged in Ohio. Now, had I never gone west, maybe I wouldn't know that. But I had the opportunity to go back, and something in me knew it wasn't the right choice. I literally knew then what I know now, and nothing changed. It's stunning. And so went the rest of the journey. I think the truth is, everyone always follows their heart. That's why we make mistakes. And even if you went back to those mistakes and told yourself the outcome before you made them, you'd still do the exact same thing. You've got to love those mistakes. They've made you, you. And that tendency to wonder what if, it's simply a kink in the human brain that some of us have more than others. You know, like that neurotic asshole who made a movie about it. So find your flaws. Flaunt them to whomever will listen. Have a good laugh, have a good cry, and then let it go. Because in the end,
What the hell is this?
it's all part of the journey.
You tell me. Are you a hologram?
I don't think I'm alive, dude. We gotta go back. A watch up to August? My memory's a little hazy.
Something's different, something's wrong, something's not the same. I fear the spot's been waiting too long, I fear that I'm to blame. They say it's okay to cry, well then I guess that I'm okay. Forgotten months, start with forgotten days.
2010 was always going to be a hangover year. You can't put your heart, soul, and bank account into the year that was 2009, have it all fail, and expect different. No, I understood what was coming and prepared by renting out my studio and inviting a friend with benefits whose lease was up to move in to make ends meet. All of this just weeks after the Comedy Central pass, and immediately it was a disaster. She was a poorly functioning alcoholic, and we couldn't coexist even as roommates. So after a few weeks, I asked her to leave. She then lost her job, which meant she not only couldn't afford to leave, she was home 24 hours a day. So as I usually do, I threw myself into work and decided to edit the Foursquare reality show I shot a few months back. It was forgotten during the Comedy Central whirlwind, but a friend at Adam Films was interested, and the edit was quite tedious, which kept my mind off the dysfunction surrounding me. and that could only last a few weeks. The result was, well, familiar.
As far as, like funding or, on the back end with it,
Right.
I'm afraid we're going to have to pass on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I get a frantic message from a woman I knew back in Ohio in the 90s that her ex-boyfriend was obsessed with me. They had been on vacation in LA, he was abusive, and she left him, so he hacked her Facebook, cross-checked her friends list with the city, and accused her of leaving him to meet me, as I was the only Facebook friend she had here. That didn't happen. I hadn't even spoken to her in over a dozen years. I told him this. He didn't care. He then started a months-long war on Wikipedia to get me removed as the first and longest-running video blogger, and won. Using multiple IPs and accounts, he erased the only positive thing I had to show for the previous decade, and those at Wikipedia locked me out. I had no way of getting it back.
Everything's out of my control. This stupid fucking stalker that keeps erasing everything I've done is out of my control. Now I'm no longer on the Barbara Ann thing for doing Let's Bomber Ann. And I put it back up and then erases it again, and I put it back up, and I can't fight it anymore by myself. I can't. It's just like erasing everything I had. And I used to think I was the strongest person on the planet, but it's like I just broke. I don't care if it ends.
This isn't how you cure a hangover. It's how you end up hanging yourself. And then the phone rings. It's Jess. She and her husband Jeff are expecting. Of course, I was happy for her during the call. Of course, that call ended and my reality came back. I knew this moment was coming sooner or later. I just wasn't aware of how later it was and how far I was from a similar moment until that call. Depression is like pouring molasses down a ramp. Once it starts, it's hard to reverse and it makes a mess you think you'll never get past. I was drowning, and unlike the depression of 2002, I barely cared. The fight was gone. Even the drunken roommate who always wanted to fight about something barely registered a word from me. And then she announced she was leaving. And even though it was a month away, I instantly felt better. And within days, I thought of this. What if I did 4 TVs with 1 iPad?
4 TVs wasn't a gimmick. If you remember, it got us all on CBS for over a year. Huh?
Yeah, look at us now.
Shut up. At least it's just one of them.
Hi. Yo.
Who's that? What?
They're over there.
I'm not buying any more of these.
Just move the iPad.
Oh no.
Yo, up here.
The idea was to simplify.
Well, you did want this to be funny, didn't you?
Well, what do they have to do with
Without us, you're that annoying guy that constantly cries about his 5th divorce on his video blog.
it? Third, and it's the world's first and longest running video blog, thank you very much.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Adam here is the first person on the planet to continually post depressing videos online. He's like a Wright brother.
I started to feel that thing. I even helped her move back across the country. Got to see some friends in Ohio, and for the first time in a long time, I was able to float downstream. I came home refreshed. A couple days later, my radio mentor from Ohio, who I had just seen, drowned. I jumped on Facebook only to see his final post and flew back the following morning to help my old station with the memorial. Andyman was on vacation with his, he said it better than anyone in his last air check.
CD 101 at 102.5 FM. That is the Cribs. We share the same sky. I am out for a week or so. I'll be back on Monday the 26th, taking a little time off. I love you. I love you for listening to CD 101. It's absolutely awesome that you do. I like to head out of town once a year, or twice a year, really. Go to Florida in the wintertime and head up to Michigan in the summertime. I like to call the Michigan trip in Lollapalooza because I'm with my wonderful in-laws who really are great, great people. You have a terrific, terrific evening. I will talk to you later.
Then at his funeral, I got a call from my friend Patty, who was watching my dogs, and suddenly Roxy wasn't doing well. He took her to the vet, but there was little they could do. She was found the following morning by my neighbors, and animal control took her before I could even see the body. I came home and sat with Stevie for what felt like an eternity. So when I had the idea to have an Indiana Jones drinking contest with 2 couch-surfing German girls, I was pretty indifferent to whether I lived or died. And unfortunately, the kid running my studio and the 2 girls had no idea the danger I was in.
to look back on the journey and all the entries are unlocked. Will they know why? Will they understand? Will they think I was wrong?
I guess this is a second chance. What the fuck do I do now? I don't know, maybe skip the drinking game with a couple of Germans? The fuck were we thinking? Listen, man, maybe we're destined to die, I don't know. If we're gonna die, go climb a mountain or something, or jump out of an airplane. Don't do that, don't pull an Elvis. You're not famous enough for that. And then maybe we'll be back here and some old man will come tell you some beautiful tale. But my opacity is changing by the second, and we need to fix this.
So I jumped. I jumped out of a plane with an eerie calmness of someone with nothing to lose.
You're gonna jump out of an airplane and you're not excited?
I'm not. I will be scared in the plane, I think. But right now, I'm just kind of mellow.
You're kind of mellow. The nerves, let me see your hand. Not moving at all, huh? Not moving at all.
I even had a bunch of coffee, too. I don't know.
You're one of those opposites, huh? The coffee's mellowing you down.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're in a plane now.
I'm in a plane. So far, so good. I'm not scared yet.
Not yet? Well, we haven't opened the door yet. So, I understand why.
So what's there to be scared of, you know? If I'm going, I'm going.
I reversed my course, and it saved my life.
Whoa. So I live another 20 years at least, not 10. You're the year 2020? What the hell happens in 2020? Oh, have a seat. No, it's more of a worldwide thing. We're good. We're great. World? What, like nuclear fallout? Who's the president? You know, I don't really want to... Donald Trump. The actor? A reality star? Who's vice president? Snooki? Back to the Future. That's gonna be really funny here in a minute. And I suppose Omarosa, Secretary of State. You know, we're not... Can we just get to why I'm here? These are actually 10 really good years. As of August 2020. I got nothing after that. Shit's getting kind of crazy. Dude, you have got to tell me what makes us look like this in 10 years. No, it's this year. There's a pandemic in 2020, so we got to quarantine. And you can't really leave the house, so there's no reason to shave. And you eat a lot. You generally have a really good time. But we'll lose the weight, we always do. Did they add extra months to the years in the 20s? How the fuck is your beard that long? Yo, this is 5 months, dog. And 50 pounds, too. Will you relax? Jesus, was I really this neurotic? Ooh, it's bigger. Yeah, faster too. Technology.
Surviving jumping out of the plane didn't stop the depression, it was just another entry. I was still spinning, still lost, although at least now I had my home to myself. I was dating, but wanted no part of a relationship and promptly told those women that
The woman for me is a Frankenstein of parts that I don't believe exist. Pretty girl, if someone ever talked to me like that, I'd reenact the squirrel song and leave them. Doormats are never let in the house. You're kinda dangerous, unassuming and inviting, but does class warfare still exist? The woman I'm closest to is having another man's baby, and I'm I'm flying out to share the moment. Part of me thinks that's kinda stupid, but part of me lives for moments like that.
I decided to fly back to Ohio a couple weeks early to make a short film about the day my dad turned 60. We spent that day producing a song just like old times. And then, of course, the moment. I truly felt honored that both Jess and Jeff let me share this moment. It was quite surreal, as Jeff was happy to joke about.
How it could have been.
But for me and Jess, it was the button on our story that, at least for one of us, had a happy ending. And when I finally returned home, I spent some time with the one girl I was seeing that was just as adamant as I was that she didn't want a serious relationship. There was magic in that sentiment because it took all the pressure off of us. We knew we weren't going to be serious, so we could talk about everything and ignore any character flaws that might be more glaring if this was a prospective future partner. It was so comfortable and so easy. Except at my core, I was still angry. I was still mired in depression about the state of my life, my career, and it all came to a head the day after Christmas. I had just waited in line for a deal on a flat-screen TV that I wanted to use and a new show idea, Adam and the One TV, where I'd perform music and comedy while also using all of the Journey content to tell stories on stage. The doorbuster deal was a bait and switch, and then once I got home, my camera ate my year-end videotape, which also meant I had no way to transfer my tapes for the One TV show. It was a very 2010 type of day. Talia needed to go pick up the mail at a relative's house, and I tagged along and sat in their backyard. It was a gorgeous house, and it was a reminder of what I didn't have. Everything is glass half empty when you're struggling with depression. And then this beautiful leaf fell, and something clicked.
Strikingly impressive, wildly interesting, full of intrigue. But in reality, it's dead. It has fallen. So the question is, are you the leaf or the tree?
Am I a leaf that is almost more beautiful when dead? Or am I a tree constantly sprouting leaves? And for some reason, that symbolism hit me. Even suicidal, I'm producing leaves. I may not have the belief to push the art after production, but there is production. The part of my brain that is mired in depression and suicidal thoughts is welcome to pretend like I'm the leaf and this is some tragic LA story, but it isn't true. Logically, I'm quite clearly the tree. It's simply a choice as to which part of my brain I want to focus on. And it's also a choice to ignore how comfortable spending time with this woman is. Or I could just admit I love it. Admit that I'm a better human when I'm not just focusing on me, and that I simply don't want to spend any time with anyone else. So on December 28th, we made it Facebook official. And my goodness, the healing began.
I can show you all the ways this won't work out. No one knows it more than me. I have redefined the meaning of a without. I struggle just to be. I've seen every love I know stand up and shout and then leave. There's every reason in the world for me to doubt, but I believe. I believe. I cannot wait to show that I will never let you go. So don't hesitate to know that I will always love you so.
And then she was 2 weeks late, and I got something pretty spectacular on film.
It's negative.
Okay, so I'm not pregnant.
No, you're not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye.
Someone I hadn't even been with for 2 months ended up not being pregnant, and I'm actually disappointed. What? This is why video is so precious to me. It doesn't lie. I'm so clearly ready and so clearly in love with this woman that a week later, when I had to check her into the emergency room for a stomach issue, it felt absolutely ridiculous when I had to write boyfriend for the relationship to the patient. I wasn't her boyfriend. I was all in. For 2 weeks, I thought I was going to be a dad, and I was bouncing around the house. Direction, nesting, preparing. I was smitten, and it was only a matter of time before I asked her to marry me. I downloaded a new song I wrote to her phone and timed the ring with the chorus.
There hasn't been a day I haven't laughed, and I would fight the world on your behalf. No, there's nothing you couldn't need, I wouldn't do. I just have one simple question for you. Would you like to spend your life with me? Maybe have a baby or three. We could flow right along while I sing you this song. If you like to spend your life with me.
Show me the ring. Wow, that's almost 10 years? Now I know why you're fat. Just watch.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Adam gave me a ring and it's really pretty.
I'm so happy.
There's a better union, babe, I swear I'll never know. You're the peace I've searched for in my life. And to those who think they understand, I swear they'll never know. I'm so proud I get to say my wife.
Of course, the pink elephant in the room is the journey and a 10-year documentation of 2 of my 3 marriages, and the understanding that no one really believes this will work. And I certainly didn't shy away from that reality. Number 4.
I love you so much. I'm so excited. I'm so excited this is happening. But they're thinking, really? Really? You want to see how nuts this is? Let me show you the wedding invitations that we sent to some people, okay? Come on, I have to do this. What the fuck? Again? Jesus. Because how can I invite friends that know me to my wedding without going, I know, right? But seriously. And you were gonna laugh at the wedding invitation anyway, right? So I thought, might as well just say, what the fuck? What are you doing?
The truth is, our ability to believe in this relationship, considering the past, was what spoke volumes. What I did not believe in, however, nor had any desire to continue to push, was the journey movie of the first 10 years. I had produced a Blu-ray and needed to get it copyright ready for film festivals, and as the deadlines approached, I just couldn't. I wasn't in the right headspace to handle any more rejection. I was madly in love, and it was this healing type of happiness I needed way more of. And one morning, I started digging in the dirt. No one could reject that. No one could pass on this deck. No one could erase my creation because it didn't fit their vision. No, I could create whatever I wanted for the sheer joy of it. It felt like magic.
Never ever ever alright. Pressure out of sight.
This is what Adam's doing on his 36th birthday.
A couple days later, Talia and I went back to the Starbucks where we met on our 1-year anniversary. And a month after that, her family had Thanksgiving at my house on my deck.
You know what's crazy? Look in your backyard. There's a family back there. How did that happen? I have a family. Ooh.
And the year ended with a wedding so beautiful and a set of vows that needed every second of my 36 years to appreciate.
I am so happy. I'm so happy you came to that Starbucks. I'm so happy you spilled your tea and I noticed you. I'm so happy we immediately said we weren't ready to be in a relationship, and a year later we're standing here. I had accepted that this type of happiness had passed me by. In reality, what passed by created the most appreciative man alive. No woman on this earth will ever be more cherished or loved than you. You are my passion. You are my equal. Let's make babies.
Now that's a first. Talia.
Every morning, I wake up happier than I was the day before. I never knew how peaceful and easy life could be until I started spending my time with you. Your presence and your kindness and your honesty helped heal me and make me feel whole. That constant feeling that I was missing something disappeared. You are my missing piece, my partner, and my soulmate. I simply love sharing my life with you. I adore and appreciate every moment we have together, big or small. I'm so excited to be your wife and to share this journey together. I promise to keep floating downstream with you, laughing with you, supporting you, and loving you every single day of my life. I love you so much. I guess let's make babies.
Okay.
And 10 entries later,
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. Damn, you wasted no time, dude. First attempt. What? Seriously. Like the legit first time we tried it like that, got pregnant. Our boys can swim, right? I was worried. Wait, so you're telling me 20 years of pull and pray worked? Yeah, who knew? Wow, I'm hungry. I'm gonna get some popcorn. Okay.
One time?
I can't breathe.
One time? It was that Boardwalk Empire night. Holy shit.
and this is the moment as a new dad you realize, fuck, I've got some work to do. Did I know what I was doing? No. Am I thankful for YouTube DIYs? Yes. I also have a very healthy amount of, I bet I can do that, if you hadn't noticed.
Are you sure about this?
This isn't really child-proof.
Yeah. That don't smell so good.
There you go, look at that. I'll just take 4 of these. I'll make like a little thing out of it.
The new windows were an attempt to control both the temperature and dustiness that is part of life in Southern California.
Oh my god.
The dogs also tracked in tons of dirt and slept in our kitchen, which wouldn't fly with a baby, so a doghouse with an in-house doggy door solved that.
You can make it. Lilu, come here. Lilu.
Look at the baby's coming out.
And then we announced the pregnancy with the baby's name, which was a mix of 4 very important women in our lives, as well as my favorite Billy Joel song. And then while preparing for a baby shower, I started to veer off track, but it made perfect sense to me.
So the situation is this. Got this foosball table back here, right? I was gonna sell it. I don't want to sell it. I got nowhere to put it. Got a kid, I'm getting rid of shit. I didn't know what to do. So check this out. Making a deck. I'm putting it outside. All right, the foosball deck is now given way to putt-putt. The mini golf hole. It's gonna run all the way here with a little bank shot here, right? And a tiny little bit all the way down there. So your super shot would be hitting it from there, 16 feet, plopping it right there, another 16 feet all the way to the hole. I was supposed to be getting the house ready for the baby shower, and I built a foosball deck and a mini golf course for the baby shower. So it looks like you're gonna have a putt-putt hole for your baby shower. Maybe that can be one of the prizes.
Cool.
We got a hole-in-one, now it's your turn. The truth is, this is all to get rid of this. Right here. This dust is everywhere. It is not dirt, it is sandy, dusty shit. We tried grass, didn't work. This is all that's left. Cementing everything, wooding everything, and turning it into a amusement park.
To prepare for having a baby, you build a mini golf course in your backyard. Is that the same wedding ring? 1, you're not that original with that take. 2, you of all people should know that crazy ideas turn into wild, amazing adventures you never could have imagined. Come on, man. Is this what happens every time you talk to yourself 10 years earlier? That guy's really pissed? Dude, old man River comes in here, tells me I'm gonna have a wife, a kid, and a mini golf course in what, a year? Of course I'm gonna think you're nuts. Christ, I was dead 10 minutes ago. That's fair. That's fair. You know, this is still like an alternate path to me. I see your skepticism and raise you this.
I eventually wanted to add a bathroom and kitchen to the guest house, which required a drain pipe. And that clearly meant we needed more golf holes and a new deck to tie everything together. I'll credit my new physique with Talia being so understanding.
When you're done with all this work, can you keep not wearing a shirt all the time?
I think we're gonna put the green over there. Yeah.
I spent 54 of the possible 72 hours of Labor Day weekend getting the course done for a cookout, and the overwhelming response was, why? Why have you been working so hard? After spending so long without direction, it was clear I needed the previous 12 years of the journey to answer why. Then, of course,
I really didn't want to wake you up. You were sleeping.
I had just fallen asleep like 20 minutes ahead before.
We almost made it till October.
Yeah, it looks like the baby's gonna be born on September 28th.
Maybe, we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna try to stuff you in there for a few more days.
28th, that's...
What's the 28th?
We were married on the 28th.
Oh, yeah. And exactly fucking 9 months later, no one's gonna believe us. No one's gonna believe us, man.
Well, good Lord, Adam, it certainly didn't take you long to put a video up.
Are you kidding?
Good God, man. This is what they write about in books.
Isn't she beautiful?
This is what becomes of love and looks.
Well, she's got two beautiful parents, so.
This is when a bond becomes alive.
Such a beautiful head and little perky
I'm so proud I get to say my wife. This is just the start of who we'll be. This will redefine our you and me. This is what appears when stars align. That and just a little bit of wine.
We spent the next few months basking in the wonder that is the first year of life, and I'm not sure I've ever been more proud during a visit back to Ohio in my life.
I could easily be just a shadow, just a mask. Instead, I'll make you pancakes on Mother's Day, no less. There was a night when I let go, gave up the fight. I never know the peace I have, peace I hold. The night I cried and almost sold.
And then wouldn't you know?
I need to set the timer.
No you don't. Jesus Christ.
Just read it after 2 minutes. I don't think 2 minutes.
You think that line's gonna go away? Are you kidding me? You gotta see my reaction. I'm like... Read results after 2 minutes. Do not read results after 5 minutes.
I need to set the timer.
No you don't. Which meant, incredibly, in the first 2 years of our marriage, Talia would be pregnant 18 months. The first 9 months of 2012 and the last 9 months of 2013. Another baby meant constructing every inch of our property for usable space, and a certain mini golf course provided the motivation every couple months to complete each section. And that's the flip side of how I'll remember 2013. GolfCon became a legitimate course with a website, 4 major events, and over 50 different players competing. Every event, I forced myself to get a little bit more done, and by the final major on Labor Day, our property was unrecognizable. And so was Vienna. Who is this walking kid, turning 1? Where'd our baby go? Of course, Vienna's birthday on September 28th kicks off the final 3 months of the year, which are always my favorite. My birthday on October 9th, the Starbucks visit on the 19th, Halloween and a new GolfCon event, Thanksgiving, getting a tree, and the big game all in one weekend. Then Christmas, our anniversary, New Year's. The big question was, where would the new baby fit in with a January 10th due date? Will the journey gods find a magical birth date for this baby girl?
I'd say it's about 80% accurate at this stage. It looks like a little girl.
Except the ultrasound tech was wrong.
You got a boy, honey. Definitely a boy. Right. See that? I'm serious right there.
We got one of both. We named him Cameron.
You were always Cameron. I just couldn't have you in 2001. I was married to someone else until I was 17. It'd be awfully difficult to explain. So I used a placeholder for a couple years. Those days are over, and you now get to make your grand entrance into this world with a name that was always yours. Cameron Michael Contras, after my father and your grandfather.
Now, because of his proximity to Christmas, we had decided we'd celebrate his half-birthday so he wouldn't get screwed out of presents. Now we just waited to see what that date would be. You ready for this? Christmas morning, Talia's water broke, and we relived the birthing process in the exact same rooms.
That's a big baby, guys.
Normally I wouldn't bore you with dueling birthing shots, but catching the similarities a year later is really fun.
Okay, they want skin to skin. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful.
Everyone's got to work a holiday, you know? She's going to have her legs up in the air kind of like that for a while. It's going to take her a little bit to get used to it.
Because there's breach? Right. It is so weird to do this a year later.
All over again?
Same person, exactly. Same room.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, pretty.
Look at him looking around, boy.
What up, Big Z?
Yep.
Word. And when did we bring him home from the hospital? 3 days later on our anniversary. And just to prove how magical our fairy tale is, that half-birthday falls on June 25th, the day I proposed to Talia. Well played, Cameron. You hit every date possible by being 16 days early. Of course, that also meant we were starting 2014 with a 15-month-old and a 1-week-old, so Cam and Talia took half the house while Vienna and I took the other. Really? You want more? Really? You have to eat it, sweetheart. You eat, you eat, you eat. Not the dogs. When you're done, don't you do that! No! No! It's for you to eat. Keep it there. Can I never give you more than one bite at a time? No. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. No, no, no. You want more to feed to Lilu? Irma Ferrigan Gerd, Vienna, stop feeding the dogs. You gotta stop feeding the dogs. And ended up being the calm before the storm, as I finally saw an opening to make the GolfCon events charity tournaments. My old friend Andrew opened a movie theater in Houston and was hip to the idea of donating to a charity for each birdie and eagle in return for a spotlight in our GolfCon videos. I then contacted every person I was connected with in show business and got 2 hits. An old radio friend, Mo Kelly, who asked me to come on his show to talk about it, and rather humorously, Claudia Wells from Back to the Future.
4 years ago, I befriended her on Facebook. I asked her to coffee, as simple as that. Never heard back from her. Years passed. A couple weeks ago, I'm writing to everybody in LA now that I have a charity attached to try to get some people involved. And I wrote, hey, to her. And she thought it was the coffee invite. And so I get the reply, sure, I'd love to go to coffee.
Better late than never.
Well, kind of.
Closer than never.
Well, and then I went, oh, I'm sorry. That was 4 years ago. I am married with 2 children now.
Different decade.
Sorry. Yeah, literally. Yeah, right? And we were laughing about it. And I said, well, now that I have your attention, I might as well tell you about this charity. And she said, I'd love to be involved. We met and figured out all sorts of stuff, including the big announcement.
That big announcement was that Claudia got Mayor Goldie Wilson and the DeLorean Time Machine to be at our memorial tournament for her charity, Kids in the Spotlight, where we'd christen a brand new Golf to the Future hole.
From here, where do you see this growing and going? How do you build this event larger than just beyond?
Larger than the time machine in my house? I have never thought past that.
The next morning, however, the owner of that DeLorean announced he was selling it, and the entire event was in jeopardy. So I got an idea. What if I bought my own time machine and started a business? I mean, with my skills, I could certainly make good commercials on a website. It felt like the moment I thought of 4TVs.
I went home and I drew this picture. It's like a flux capacitor. Like, Doc, he drew that big Y, and he sat there and looked at it for 30 years and figured out it was a time machine.
Of all the movies to allude to, right? So 15 years later, I jumped. Borrowed a bunch of money and bought a DeLorean time machine.
Hang on. You're at home with a 1-year-old and a 3-month-old? And you decide, hey, a DeLorean time machine for my backyard fucking mini golf course. Great addition to the family. What? All right, give me the popcorn. Now I'm interested.
The fever dream continues. The news covered the event.
There's plenty of green in Adam Contras's backyard in North Hollywood, but not of the garden variety. The father of 2 actually has a green in his backyard, a miniature golf course. He started with just 3 holes.
And then it was fun, so I added another one, and I added a few more tee boxes, and then it kind of got carried away a little bit.
You could say that. A DeLorean replica from the blockbuster Back to the Future now sits in the middle of hole 9, a hole entirely dedicated to the film.
So you get past 1985 and the clock tower.
Save the clock tower!
And then you try to get to the 2015 hole, and if you hit the back, you trigger that DeLorean, and if you're lucky, the ball will go in right through that pipe.
Today, 2 stars from the film dedicated the Back to the Future hole. Claudia Wells, who played Michael J. Fox's girlfriend Jennifer Parker, and Don Fullove, who played Mayor Goldie Wilson.
It's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. But I'm getting accustomed to how detailed and caring Back to the Future fans are.
Contras originally wanted the DeLorean here for today's event, but then he fell in love with it and he bought it. He openly admits he has one very understanding wife. In Van Nuys, I'm Christine Lazar, CBS 2 News.
Yeah, did you see the hoverboard next to Christine?
Oh yeah,
So
Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies.
Me too.
Flux capacitor.
Oh,
how many
love it all.
gigawatts does it take to, do you know?
I have no idea.
It's 1.5.
Wow, he remembers that too. One, a big fan.
No, he's not. But the surreality of this event cannot be understated. Digging in the dirt in your backyard doesn't usually lead to this. And while Claudia wasn't much of a golfer,
Okay, what do I do?
You put the ball on the tee.
There's a little hole right here behind little holes behind you.
Oh, it's going to be a long game, everybody. It's going to be a long game.
Don most certainly was and stayed long after the news trucks left to score under par, and I respected the hell out of that. I asked him if he wanted to partner up as a spokesman with a package on rentthedeleorian.com, and he was happy to help.
But now you can rent the DeLorean for as little as $199.95. And you can even have me, Goldie Wilson III, at any of your events with the Golden Package. Remember, rentthedeleorian.com.
My man Mo Kelly gets a radio interview with Weird Al Yankovic, invites me to be in studio, and I end up taking the elevator down with Al, tell him about GolfCon, and he thinks it's awesome. He gives me the green light to do something UHF themed, and before you know it, I'm building a giant wheel of fish in my backyard. What? Then I contact Getty Watanabe, the host of the Wheel of Fish from the movie, to appear for our Labor Day event, and he's totally into it, except he's out of town that weekend, so we have to tape something ahead of time. And I figure since he's here, let's do that interview idea I had, hats and mini golf. Dude, it turned out so well, so funny, so effortless, that when I sent it to a few people, they wanted to be on the show. Suddenly, Jim O'Hare from Parks and Rec shows up, and he's perfect. Joel Murray from Mad Men.
That's Freddie Rumsen from Mad Men. He pissed himself. I saw that episode last week. Okay. This is starting to make more sense. This is us.
The mayor does an episode, and we do the second half from his freaking plane.
Ah, that's some funny shit, motherfucker. Ah, okay. Warn me before. We're passing all that traffic. We don't worry about traffic jams.
Oh, and the kids are still alive. Yay. Somehow Talia and I are actually surviving the absolute chaos that is babies less than 15 months apart when suddenly the clock strikes 2015. And thanks to some tips on a site redesign from an old college friend, Chris Johnson, the phone really starts to ring. I'm booking major, big money events. Hell, I'm booking DeLoreans on the other side of the country because the site is getting so slammed. Then I see a documentary I'm following, Back in Time, are in LA for some interviews, and I message them with a link to the CBS News story. It's a long shot as they just booked Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, but they end up squeezing me in between Dan Harmon and Alan Silvestri.
I suck at golf of the miniature variety. But this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's a Back to the Future golf course equipped with its very own time machine.
The director and I hit it off immediately because I couldn't stop gushing over their gear. The phone just won't stop ringing, and I end up paying off the majority of the car by March. And when we hit the 1-year mark of the decision to jump, it really hits me.
Sometimes you gotta just jump to know that you're alive, to see if you'll survive without looking down. Doesn't mean that you'll fly, you'll probably hit some walls, you're bound to trip and fall, you may even hit the ground. But nothing beats getting up and taking every blow, vanquishing your foes and winning every round. Sometimes you gotta just jump to know that you're alive, to see if you'll survive without looking down.
You see, it was always in the back of my head that with October 21st, 2015 approaching, the future date from Back to the Future, if the business wasn't working, I could sell the car then and really not lose anything. Now I'm setting up the ability to spend my children's entire childhood with them nearly 24/7, because other than the actual events, I'm at home. Granted, I'm at home theming the gopher hole from Caddyshack or interviewing Mo Collins, but I get to do that on my own terms. It's a freedom I've not only never known, I'm not sure I can think of anyone that I have known that could do this.
Finally, something to pick up my balls.
For a guy who jumped his entire life and routinely broke his ankles, this was jaw-dropping. And it was honestly just the beginning. These big gigs never stopped. By summer, I had more than paid off the car, and I found myself in the middle of everything. Even doing unrelated events out of town, I find myself running into Don, and we can't help but shake our heads at the absurdity of everything.
This is when your career is literally in the shitter.
But then I start booking him with me, and it's almost weekly. Are you ready for this run? I get booked for the Hollywood Bowl, and he's there as a special guest, so he gets me backstage with the cast. And, God, where do I start?
The scam continues. We find a way to do some crazy shit.
What's this? Oh, what's this?
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. What? It won't be long. So I'm gonna need somebody.
Back in the green room, I get a text from Talia saying the dogs destroyed the gopher hole. The room has no idea what this means except for one man, Don. So he proceeds to explain GolfCon to Christopher freaking Lloyd.
And he has this tournament called GolfCon. We're having one on July 4th. I mean, he has a serious tournament mini golf course. Hit it past him to get to the little hole. The dog ate the cat.
That's the real gopher from eBay. I gotta find a new one by July 4th.
You know, he's having a tournament July the 4th.
Oh, it's gonna be like
the dog just ate the gopher. It's hysterical. There's one hole. It's the Back to the Future hole. You hit the ball, and you'll either get a bad shot and wind up in 1985, or you'll get a good shot, and it'll go all the way down, and it'll hit the DeLorean, and it'll roll down and roll the ball into the hole.
A few days later, I booked Don on a USS Midway gig and just, goddamn, look at this. I get home and start building a bar that's interrupted with this ridiculous picture. Don was kind enough to take my visor to London to get it signed. Now I got a matching set. Goodness. And then I booked 2 gigs a week apart that defy explanation. A Toyota commercial filmed on the Universal backlot. I'm driving my own DeLorean time machine at Hill Valley. None of this feels real. A week later, I have a pickup and drop-off package, where I pick up Leah Thompson and drop her off inside Dodger Stadium, because of course I do. Look at them all standing.
All of tonight's games will be shown in the movie Back to the Future, and we're happy to be joined this evening by one of the film's stars, making way to the field right now with the help of the DeLorean time machine from the movie. Here to throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitch, please welcome the actress who played Lorraine McFly, Leah Thompson.
Pretty awesome, huh?
That's pretty cool, yeah.
I'm supposed to keep driving all the way through, but I don't know how I'm supposed to get through.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Go all the way around?
But I'm gonna run over people.
How are you gonna do it without me?
This is like my 9-year-old fantasy camp. In a million years, this is not what I thought you were going to show me.
Did you expect to go back to Hill Valley a month later for another shoot? With enough free time to play mini golf with the mayor?
Adam just lost the ball in Courthouse Square.
Now I found that ball, but one ball did indeed remain at Hill Valley. I took a golf con ball, snuck into the clock tower, and hit it in the rafters. See? If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Even playing mini golf with Mayor Goldie Wilson at Courthouse Square in Hill Valley.
Pop the bushes.
What is that? October finally arrived, and it's hard to express what busy means. A busy month is 8 to 10 events. In October, we did 35, with 7 different cars, with my car being responsible for 25 of those. Future Day alone was 8 events, and incredibly, while I'm watching Don on CNN, Fast Company releases the article about me and the company, and it was a media blitz at every turn. The Toyota commercial I shot gets released, and it has Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd in it. And of course, Back in Time is released, and they not only kept my piece in, they added me in as a talking head throughout the film. I mean, it goes from Dan Harmon to me to Michael J. Fox, and the film ends up being the #1 documentary in the world and is spotlit throughout the year. They invite me to their LA premiere the following month, and a week later, back at Hill Valley for the Michael Bublé Christmas special. I mean, what do you say about this year? I grabbed Don and sat at the bar to talk about everything in the year-end video, which really captured what makes our friendship work.
What kills me about this gig is this is where you win at life. My ass has to drive like an hour, 15 minutes, middle of the night trying to get there. You fly in for 15 minutes and you just land right in, you park, and people are like, it's Mayor Goldie Wilson, motherfucker.
They didn't really know who it was. They just knew it was this tall black dude in an airplane, and he's in an airplane.
So I'm there early, right? And I'm sitting in the fucking John. And your ass calls me up, and you're like...
I was told by the FAA that I needed a discreet military code.
He's in the plane, and he's like...
And I'm scared to land.
He's like, Adam!
I don't want to be shot down.
Adam, I need a military code. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've already cleared it. No, Adam, I need a military code. They're going to shoot me down. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. Okay, let me call the guy. And I called the guy, and the guy's like, no, he doesn't. We know him. Just tell him to say who he's here and why he's there. And he's like, Adam, I need a military code.
Not a military code. It's a discreet
military code. And so he finally does fucking land, no problem. And we hang out, eat some food, you shake a few hands. And then, the final event of GolfCon was that night. And
Adam
I
had to fight his way on the freeway.
I had to fight my way on to tow everything back, to get it all done. His ass flies there, and literally as I'm pulling onto the highway, I get a text, and he says, guess where I am? I'm like, motherfucker, I don't want to hear it. He's like, I'm already in my hangar in Van Nuys having a beer. Fuck off. So, yeah.
I don't really drink beer, but I did say I was in Van Nuys.
You did say you were having a beer. Dude, why do you think people don't know you drink? You do these in public places.
And although the gigs didn't stop in 2016, it certainly wasn't the magic of 2015. There was magic, however.
Afternoon, Adam.
George! Round of golf today, George?
I believe that's pronounced beer.
You built a bar in the backyard, and Norm showed up. George, Mr. George went. Dude, I understand. This is all amazing. Seriously. Clearly, it's like a makeup from the Journey gods for like the worst 10 years ever. But please tell me, it turns into an actual career? I mean, we sacrificed our nervous system for years not to be the car rental mini golf guy. I mean, listen, props, dude. You took this in a direction no one could have seen coming, but it's a little concerning.
Has 2010 Adam started giving you shit for abandoning your career yet? We'll show him the Hats and Mini Golf reel you posted on Facebook on March 13th, 2016.
For 10 years, I nearly killed myself in showbiz with some incredible highs, but even lower lows. Until one day, I walked outside and began to dig in the dirt as a form of Zen therapy. I didn't know what I was making. I just knew I didn't need network approval to do it. A deck turned into a small putting green, which turned into a mini golf course, which turned into charity events, and the news coming out because I themed one hole with an actual DeLorean time machine. GolfCon was named as one of the coolest backyards of all time, and then was featured in the documentary Back in Time. And then while taping a bit for our Labor Day charity event for the Sabin Community Clinic, I interviewed Getty Watanabe, best known as Long Duck Dong from 16 Candles. And suddenly that Zen garden I started to avoid show business grew into a show. Turns out it's really fun to wear funny hats, share a beverage, play mini golf, and talk about life.
You keep trying to tell people how hard it is. I've done that every show.
And you make it look like it's nothing. Okay, how did you figure out how to build that?
Dude, I'm a genius. It never occurred to me what your name was. And I saw one of your pictures. I saw, hey, he got to meet Bill Murray. Yeah. That's awesome. And then I'm like, God, he's in a lot of fucking pictures with Bill Murray. And then I made the connection, and then I'm freaking out.
I was on Dharma and Greg like 4 years, and all of a sudden Chuck Lorre comes over to me and goes, wait, you're Bill Murray's brother? But
oh shit, that beats my Facebook
It was
story.
kind of cool to hear that, well, yeah, I got hired, I've been on the show for 4 years, and he didn't even know I was his brother.
You posted a picture of you hanging out with Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Like hanging out, not like, hey, I was backstage. No, you're just playing pool with him and his brothers.
Well, yeah, when we were kids and I was doing the show, you know, I got to hang out a lot.
You were the voice of
I was
Michael
the voice
Jackson.
of Michael Jackson on the Jackson 5 cartoon show.
There's a new product out now that is getting a lot of, it's a cup. So we bleed our men.
Oh, the free bleeding cup. Yeah, I know all about that. Yeah, I have seen that. I have seen that in my own fucking house. But we're not gonna do. And she's the cameraman.
I know. Does it work?
Does it work?
Does?
Oh,
I
God.
can't imagine it working.
This had to be.
It's like, I know. All I think about, the first time I saw it, I'm like, there's no way. Like, the cup is going to overflow and...
Oh my God, am I red?
I had inadvertently created a format for a long-form interview that has the laid-back appeal of comedians in cars getting coffee, but with an element of friendly competition.
Whoa!
That was a really good shot.
I let the guests spin the wheel of fish to add strokes to my score to keep it fair.
No! Never!
And then they rub it in my face when they stay ahead.
You're so stupid! No, I'm just kidding.
That's a very nice putt, sir.
Well, that would be a hole in one. Now, here's my question. That is what we're supposed to do, right? Because it's, I mean, isn't that the, am I confused? Why did you take 2 strokes?
Right.
I just don't get it why you did 2.
I didn't get the DeLorean.
Are you kidding? What is this?
And most guests want to ride in the time machine, but that can prove tricky.
I can see already I'm not going to fit in this car. And if I do, it's going to be tight. Okay. Wow. I am it.
The focus inevitably is more personal because I tend to be open about my failures, which allows guests to follow suit.
Did you say you were divorced or something? 3 times? What's wrong with you?
I know, right?
Did we ever look at our grandparents and go, oh, you ugly motherfucker? Oh, good, I'd be like, oh my gosh, comedy intervention, I love it.
Funny.
That's hilarious.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
You and Bill were going to do a talk show where you played golf with the guests.
We've talked about it,
Right.
But it turns out Billy's busy and doesn't need the money, but I am still available.
You had something until Hats and Mini Golf.
So that frees up guys without hats on real golf courses.
Touche.
48 hours after this is posted, I'm offered a development deal with Teague Town Productions. Mark Teague, who is the father of one of Vienna's preschool friends, has his own production company, is repped by Paradigm, and is certain he can pitch this show. I sign a 6-month 50-50 deal, and he sends the reel to his agent, who promptly says walking, talking golfing shows don't sell. Mark then asks around and finds out his agent was right. Mark's extremely apologetic, and he does something I've never heard of. He immediately sends me a dissolution contract giving 100% of it back.
You're a man of your word, sir. And I thank you for this. Now let's go try to do this all over again.
Oh, did I mention that? My friend Gary Helsinger had passed the reel on to his friend at Collins Avenue, the production company that produces Dance Moms. And they loved it, but they apparently knew walking, talking golfing shows don't sell, so they had other ideas surrounding my life. We meet. Their ideas are good brainstorming, but nothing really clicks. They ask for notes and ideas, and I write the most detailed list possible to see what sticks. They thank me and say they'll get back really soon. They don't. Days turn into weeks, and a month later, they don't even respond to follow-up emails. So I call Mark back and run the 2 most fleshed out ideas I have for shows. One is a hybrid of Hats and Mini Golf called Chasing Heroes, focusing more on how I get the celebrities to do the show. The other idea is Dream Yards, where I help another dad build his outlandish dream yard with a catch. The rest of the family has to be convinced and can nix the build at the end of the show. He likes the Dream Yards idea, and I sign another deal with him for that, since Collins Avenue has completely ghosted. But I decide to send them the Chasing Heroes reel to see if I can interrupt their silent treatment. So join me as I chase my heroes around Hollywood using every skill and talent I've got, including an arsenal of characters capable of being anyone I may need. Hell, I'll even use my DeLorean time machine as an Uber if I have to, just so we can happen to bump into the biggest names in TV, film, music, and sports, and get them to have a drink, a laugh, and play the Golf Con 9. Chasing Heroes. I build it. Will they come? Well, Collins Avenue sure did. After a month of silence, they responded in an hour. Then, while waiting for that deal, I get a text from Greg Grunberg, who I met at a gas station with my DeLorean a few months back. After I had texted him pics of GolfCon, he wanted to book me on his new show with Kevin Smith. Holy shit! Then the deal memo comes, and the percentage breakdown is not 50-50, it's 1585. A show that is not only 100% me, but it has to be shot in my backyard using my DeLorean, and my characters is a 15% split? Mother of fuck, come on! But from experience, I know percentages don't represent reality, they represent the reality of getting it sold. It is political. It is who you know. It is who owes you favors. It is all of those things first. At the very end is the idea. So I got them to 25% and signed. Because what the hell else am I going to do? Mark is finding out that he can't get any bites on DreamYards, but a week later, Geeking Out producers contact me to shoot the segment the following week, and I realize my Golf Hard idea has to be done in time for that because Kevin Smith was in Die Hard. Time to make Nakatomi Tower. I finish everything and Geeking Out postpones and reschedules, then postpones again, and in the very next entry, True TV passes on Chasing Heroes, and that's it. Neither Geeking Out nor Collins Avenue ever contacts me again. And this is why you can never judge people in showbiz that either get addicted to drugs or shoot themselves. This is what it's like, non-stop. It is not like a car rental business where being professional and having a strong work ethic pays dividends. It is not like any other career. And without a tremendous amount of support, you are in danger. Of course, this is 2016, which means I have that support. I have 3 people in my life that make me so happy, I can barely process it.
Yesterday I thought of what my life would have been like had you never crossed the street for fancy tea. I guess I would never know what I was missing, but I know that I would simply not be me. So yeah, we get no sleep. Someday we will, and we'll be sad. This too shall pass, so enjoy the show. And I'll love you.
Do you like running around and fighting in the backyard?
Yeah, I like fun and winning. Let's try that again.
Let's try that again. I think it's a good idea. All right, are you going to be a good guy or a bad guy?
Good guy.
So you want the blue lightsaber.
I will win.
That's a given, because you're the good guy. How about we're both good guys and we fight the bad guys?
Yeah.
Okay. What are their names, dude?
Mama and Vienna.
Okay.
So adorable. But you might have noticed he seems sick. A couple weeks later, we have to rush him to the hospital as he's struggling to breathe. He spends 6 days there, we get it under control, then a couple weeks later it happens again and he spends another week in the hospital. Ends up he's very allergic to, well, almost everything, but especially dogs. So I have to rip up the carpet and get rid of the pups. And while it was sad for a bit, I would shoot a baby deer in the mouth if it meant my children would stop suffering. That, and the pups were able to stay with Talia's mom, so visits were still possible. Cam returned from the hospital the second time, and his symptoms improved. As I ended the year, Kenny visited LA for the first time. Yes, that Kenny, the one I used to sing birthday videos to every year. He said he could swap everything out of my car and make it really fast. And I wanted to believe him, but this was my business and I could never afford the downtime. And then the DeLorean had other plans and promptly needed a full transmission swap that was going to cost 5 figures. Well, now what do? The Contras boys are going to create the fastest DeLorean in the world.
I'm about to skim over a hell of a story here. You need to watch the 2 Fastest DeLorean films. 2 films? Can I watch? Nah, you'll live it. But seriously, you guys, just hit pause, and they're probably right there on your TV. Just watch them and head on back. You can't spoil this. Right there on their TVs. Ooh, streaming. Jesus. So in the future, we get all our content that isn't live through streaming apps instead of network TV and cable TV. Well, most of us anyway. Like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, so anybody can put their content up. No, it's not like YouTube. You still need a film distributor and those relationships and contracts. And we pulled that off? Yes, we were getting ahead of ourselves. I just wanted to warn them. Don't skip these stories. Wow.
So I ship the car back to Columbus and the build begins, with the entire process being documented in video blogs in real time. I even fly back to help and get more footage. It was a wonderful bonding moment for two brothers that had never really gotten to know each other, and I was so excited to see him race the car for the record of fastest DeLorean. I was even able to do some hometown gigs with the car, including going back to my old grade school, which is one of the most heartwarming feelings you can ever have. Those heartwarming feelings soon melted when the car couldn't make the promised power, and I caught Kenny making a fake dyno video with an old date and nearly destroying the entire project. When I called him out, he quit the project and ghosted completely, leaving me with a car that not only didn't have enough power, but was leaking transmission fluid among dozens of other problems. With what little knowledge I had, I fixed what I could and hired a new driver who just barely missed the record. And just to finish the movie, I did it myself.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was scary!
I was terrified.
Holy shit!
It took 9 attempts, but eventually.
I literally don't know what happened. I don't know if you made it or not.
What did I get? 1229. No! Are you fucking shitting me? 1229. The time slip lady wasn't there. Dude, 1229. You freaking did it. Are you fucking with me? No!
Releasing the movie, however, was an inner conflict I just couldn't get past. There was no way to tell the story without making Kenny look awful, and devoting time and energy to something where that is the outcome just froze me. So I shelved the film and focused on family, which is thankfully very funny.
Oh my God, you have to go to bed!
Okay, let me go to sleep. Dada! Holy shit, damn it. Damn it. Dada! Everest! Poopy day! Didn't I say Everest? Yeah, I said Everest! What? Everest is my class. Poop! Boy. Poop. Everest is a boy. He's real. I know Everest. He's in my class. I know Everest. Remember when I was in the classroom and he kicked me in my face? What did he do? He kicked his shoe on my face. That's not good. Okay, let me go see. Knock, knock. Who's there? Everest. Everest too. Everest who knocks the butt. Smacks the butt like this. Poop, 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 poop. And like this. Get back here.
I even got to walk into a bookstore, pick up a publication that's over 100 years old, and show it to my kids with me in it. How cool is that?
Do you see that?
Who is it?
You see that? Look who's in the magazine.
It's a Dada.
Promised you the world and you believe.
Of course, shelving the movie didn't shelve the problem that is the car constantly breaking down. See, Kenny could ghost the car and never give it another thought. I still had to pay my mortgage, and it seemed wildly unfair to have nothing to show for all the added stress, anxiety, and now diagnosed high blood pressure from the swap. So as a last-ditch effort, I grabbed Don and we sat at the bar, just like the 2015 year-end video, to tell the story of Fastest DeLorean. That felt more natural. It's easier to describe an inner struggle to a friend rather than record a voiceover. Started to piece it together, and again, I just couldn't do it. I shelved it a second time and started making a 2D GolfCon video game where you play my neighbor helping me build GolfCon while acquiring the skills and money to make your own course to compete with mine. You start with a clean slate in both yards as you help build GolfCon piece by piece. Once the basic 9 holes are complete, 6 tournaments a year will give you deadlines to complete upgrades on both courses. Compete in each tournament, as well as download other courses to your neighborhood online and permanently put your score on the course. A construction RPG resulting in an addictive mini-golf game. GolfCon. 4 entries later, on Kenny's birthday, the car breaks down during a gig, and I really start to lose it.
There's no clutch at all. Can't even power shift it through. But I was able to get it into gear and barely get it to start. So now I'm doing the entire shoot in first gear, and I can't stop the car. So however long this takes, I just got to keep going in a circle. Well, this ought to be fun. Guess what rich people don't like? This car driving around their neighborhood. I just had a neighbor run up to my car and say, "Get out of here!" And I'm sure she's gonna do that again. So just let them call the police. I'll tell them, "Hey, a neighbor's about to call the police. So hurry up." Oh, here she is. She's gonna block me. There she goes. Well, that's the end of that shoot. So now I'm waiting for the tow truck. And, you know, people keep asking me about this beard, like, dude, shave it. It's really getting ridiculous. And I said, you know what? When I look in the mirror, that guy looks exactly the fucking way I feel. So until that changes, oh, the beard's staying. I feel insane. I feel like I've aged 20 years since this fucking fastest project started. And, yeah, it's staying, buddy. It's staying.
So now do I finish the movie? No. I make a GolfCon leaderboard with a 4K TV because that won't make anybody look bad. In fact, it makes everyone look really good. Two entries later.
That's the end, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
That is the end.
I assume that's when you decided to release the movie? Yep.
I knew now I could no longer protect Kenny.
Half the time I think I'm gonna lose my heart because my blood pressure's going crazy and the anxiety is so high that I'm not gonna make these gigs and I'm gonna lose my job and I'm gonna lose my fucking house. Now I gotta worry about the car blowing up. What if somebody had been in it? What if I had killed somebody?
Now, I've tackled some crazy projects without experience, but this was a different level. But like every massive undertaking, you have to ignore the scope and focus on the details. Clean, assess, replace, repeat. Once that was done, I had to wait for the wiring harness, and well, it was time to finish the movie. Which I did 10 days after the fire and sent it to some film distributors. Then the wiring harness came, and goddamn am I over my head here.
Nah. They'll probably just plug everything back in and the car runs. God damn it.
These wires represent these wires, but the colors aren't exact. They're pretty close. But I just kind of have to cut these wires and hope. I just switched all these wires. So if that was the problem, we will know here soon.
This might be my greatest accomplishment. Even getting multiple film distribution offers and signing with one a week later, it was an afterthought after making that engine roar. But I did indeed sign a deal, and the avalanche that starts for the next 2 years just might surpass anything the journey has ever seen. The day the film goes live, I'm at the DMV fighting with them to let me keep my license plate. That night, I book a gig to be on the red carpet for Ready Player One. A gig at the end of March that marks 15 gigs in that month and $15,000, all of which would have been gone if I hadn't rebuilt the car. And of course it was surreal for me because all these people are about to see a movie about a kid from Columbus, Ohio who races a DeLorean time machine in virtual reality. While back on that carpet, in reality, they were sitting in a DeLorean time machine that was owned by this kid from Columbus, Ohio, who engine swapped it to race. If only they knew. I jump on with Frangela to push the film, and the Columbus Underground does a piece on it. And the first GolfCon sponsor, Andrew, asked to have me and Don out to Houston to show a double feature of Fastest DeLorean and Back to the Future at his new drive-in. All of this while Don and I had started a podcast called Flashin' the Fundamentals because our lives feel like a reality show and the hits just keep on coming. Don decides to Facebook Live from a GolfCon event.
Adam Contras's beautiful little putt-putt golf course called GolfCon 9.
Wait.
Matter of fact,
And a dude in France is watching.
Wait a minute. Do you want to?
Right here.
Somebody is watching. Hey, Jerome.
That dude wants me and Don in France to screen the movie. In fact, we announced this from the gig in Houston.
We're screening the fastest DeLorean in the world.
Right.
On Paris. We're just going all over the place. Man, that was the best thing in the world, changing the engine in that DeLorean.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. I guess it's getting there.
To be revealed on another episode.
Yeah, man. I mean, I hear you. I'm very good at making lemonade out of lemons. Let me put it that way.
Dude, you are the king of lemonade.
Yeah, I refuse to have bad shit happen to me.
Basically saying that you're glad it caught on fire.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
You see the cover that's in France right now? Oh shit, we're at Cannes Film Festival as we speak.
Oh, we forgot all about
it. Oh my god, I completely forgot about it. Yeah, the film is at the Indie Rights booth in Cannes. And, man, that is a little baby. How old is that baby? Was that 2 months?
No. Those are your kids?
2 weeks old?
Oh.
Oh my god, this place is full of babies.
But nobody's the parent.
I was talking about the parent.
Oh.
Oh, you can't see my eyes. You're like, who's this alien?
Adam is a good father. He's got 2 of his own.
This is the cutest baby.
They're a little... Hey!
See, it happens to you too. It happens to you too.
Of course, watching Fastest DeLorean at a drive-in is almost an out-of-body experience. And then...
Drinking apple juice.
Yep, there we go. 2 Paris. Fastest DeLorean in the world was starting in about 5 minutes.
And here for the fastest DeLorean in the world is across the street at the theater. We're having a little...
a celebratory drink.
Absolutely.
And they want us to make an entrance. So they're like, why don't you just hang out at that bar? And Don's like, okay. And
not that way. If you could stay, I promise you that all I'd do and find you. If you could be, you stay.
I'm gonna order another fucking glass of water.
Welcome. And as much fun as we all had in the few days we were there, Talia and I missed our kids so much our chests hurt.
oh my goodness, did I miss you guys.
They're simply the most fun people we've ever met.
That never happened. Well, it did a long time ago when I was 3. No, it didn't. It did. Mama! He's making up funny stories about himself. I will say that one more time. I'm never playing with you again. Now you just say that. Mama! Okay, I'm never playing with you again. I'm never playing with you again because, yeah, what's so funny about it? I'll tell you what for your birthday. Nothing. I'll tell you what. I'll give you nothing pretty for your birthday. Aww. So you're so mean. Aww. Namaste, buddy.
The DeLorean gigs are hitting 2015 levels with random celebrities like Kenny Loggins, Chewbacca, Steve-O. Hell, I caught Snoop taking video of me on the highway.
Snoop Dogg!
And after stopping the GolfCon videos, oh, did I mention that? George Wendt in 2016 actually marked the end of our charity videos because Fastest DeLorean just took over my life and I couldn't produce it all. But I saw Michael O'Keefe was going to be in town and I just had to ask. We had spoken before, but he's based in New York. He had a favorite local charity and it set up this surreal moment of Noonan playing the gopher hole.
Looks like it goes a little right to left before it hits the hill, and then it's going to go up that little hill.
He does it.
Look at that.
He does it.
I'm back.
That is. Then I'm back at Hill Valley for a wedding, and a dinosaur is the ring bearer. What? I actually called Don and said he had to come down so we could goof off, and we set up maybe the best surprise ever for this movie-obsessed couple.
Greetings, citizens. Welcome to Hill Valley. As the past, present, and always mayor of Hill Valley, I have been given some information that Jeremy and Melissa had a matrimony here in Courthouse Square. Guess what? As citizens of Hill Valley, I want to be one of the first to congratulate you on a lifelong journey of love.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Hill Valley. Let's give a big round of applause.
Okay, we gotta go up one more flight of stairs. Stop flashing the lighting. Of course, years later, I had to see if that golf ball was still there.
Oh, it rolls. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, this is not.
Are you shooting?
Are you shooting this? Am I shooting this? Of course you are. I never fucking get like this. Okay. Clear behind. Look now. Okay, the ball is up there, motherfucker. Now we gotta get down without getting caught. I don't care if I get caught. I'll give him a story. We in the clock tower. At Hill Valley. In Hill Valley, running from Universal Security. Dude, give us a reality show.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to argue that our adventures aren't a ready-made reality show. In fact, while Don is playing Goldie, I'm apparently playing Bill Murray.
レントだってちょっと待って T シャツレントってゼロレア
Do they not know what's happening?
マイケル・ J ・フォックスマイケル・ J ・フォックスですか違いますマイケル・ J ・フォックス
Lost in translation. Yep.
Why don't you come back and I'll show you?
But at your much better home life and all that entails.
In 2004, when I watched Lost in Translation with Jess, it came at a time when we were struggling with our marriage. And I saw my own future in that film, where I was off doing something career-related and missing a family that didn't miss me. It deeply affected me. So to watch this video and see me in a similar role, yet they're at my home, and I avoided the disconnected family, I'm happier than I ever imagined. And Jess, well, our whole family spent a week together back in Columbus to start the new year 20 of the journey, in a scene that I knew in my heart in 04 was possible, but I still can't believe we pulled it off. And if 2018 was like 2015 in terms of gigs, 2019 surpassed all of it. More events than I've ever been able to handle. Multiple out-of-town corporate gigs. At least now the kids are old enough to come to some.
Having a slice. No, dog. That's beer, brother. Some set of balls on you. What were you gonna do? Drink that? Oh, you didn't know? Well, you would have found out.
And thanks to Don having his Back to the Future band rehearsals at his house, Mark McClure was able to christen the Super T, as he was not only Dave McFly in Back to the Future, he's always been Jimmy Olsen to me.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, dude. Do you know how hard it is to get a 1 on the Super T?
Harry Waters even came by before we made our second trip to France, this time for a screening in Marseille.
That's a pretty good putt. All right, let's see what happens.
Will it go in? Will it go in?
Oh, he birdies it.
And of all the adventures the release of Fastest DeLorean has brought me and Don, this will symbolize our friendship forever.
Goldie Wilson from Back to the Future. And now starring in the Fastest DeLorean in the world on Amazon Prime. Please welcome Don Fullala. to his co-star in the fastest DeLorean, Adam Contra. Let's hear it for Don Full of Love.
My life is a comic book. France was another whirlwind, although this time I truly felt like an imposter. In fact, I had to make a video about imposter syndrome because it really aided me.
When I was treated as one of the team during the Google X event, I mentioned the imposter syndrome. It's the fear that even if you are qualified, you feel that someday someone will find out you're not really that good. I mean, this panel was filled with literal leaders of industry, and they all raised their hand and expressed how often they felt the imposter syndrome. I mean, Matt Denton literally built BB-8. But what inevitably happens when you get successful at doing something you love is you don't change, but everyone else treats you differently. You work just as hard as you did in anonymity as you do now. You had the same ideas and ability before when you were in a vacuum, just no one would return your calls. So when you're recognized, there's this concern that you'll suddenly be seen as not belonging. Maybe you know where I'm going with this. I was not, and could not have been, in Back to the Future. To be in a row of people involved in that movie and to be signing autographs on Back to the Future memorabilia filled me with so much embarrassment that I felt like I was ruining their props. I mean, forget just sitting next to the cast members. I'm at the table with Michael Chaffee, who designed the DeLorean time machine. We both signed the Eagle Moss model, which costs over $1,500. Like, of course Michael signs it, but because I drag raced my car, I'm signing it? And you ready for this? We both signed the fastest DeLorean poster. What? I finally said something to Michael, and he said to me, you know, it's people like you making films like this that keep everything going, so don't be embarrassed. And while that is remarkably sweet, I still felt really out of place. I was as gracious as possible, but as this DeLorean Experience event has grown in size, I'm aware that I will not really be around much longer. The fastest DeLorean saga is but a chapter in my life, and I'm just stunned to even be included at this level.
And then back home, and the gigs and the breakdowns and the gigs. From a home and garden show in Vegas to Facebook to Let's Make a Deal. During downtimes on these shoots, I painstakingly created GolfCon in 3D through Dragon Builders Quest 2 on the Switch. And suddenly that 2D GolfCon video game idea felt kinda quaint. I was also messing with photogrammetry, which would allow you to play GolfCon in VR, but I was way too busy to even attempt that now. Hell, Facebook brought me back again a few weeks later. And this time I grabbed a room to finish the edit on Fastest DeLorean Part 2, which was released on November 22nd, which incredibly, and unbeknownst to me, I swear, was the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future 2's release in 1989. I pulled out my old cards and just couldn't believe the kismet. I mean, there's the lightning run card that I used to gaze at as a kid, and 30 years later, I got to do it and it's in my movie. Oh, I never showed that. Jet lag from France had me up for 36 hours straight, while also attempting not to crash my car while reenacting the lightning run sequence at Hill Valley.
This is so weird. I haven't slept in... I just can't even begin to tell you. It actually feels like I'm dreaming.
And Adam, bring some heat, but be safe. Action. Okay, here we go. Taking off the rod. Let's get ready to lay down our juice.
Oh, and the entry number for the release of my movie? 1989. I mean, come on. God, it felt good to put that story in the past, because one of the final events of the decade just about did me in.
I am driving the time machine all the way
Frisco because my SUV broke down while towing it. Because of course it fucking did. So I drove the time machine off the flatbed, and I just said, all right, I guess I'm doing a 700-mile round trip in a car that I would never, ever, ever, ever trust to go this far. I don't have a choice, man. It's got a gig. People depended on me. So, here we go.
I have to stop every 100 miles or so to screw in the axle bolts because Kenny hard mounted the motor and the bolts come loose constantly. It's so stressful, it's so much, that I straight up break down in a bathtub once I get there. Because think about it, I've never missed a gig. Still, it's the end of 2019, nearly 500 gigs, nearly 300 since the swap, and I can still say that, but it's just too much. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to hang out with my family. I wish the world would just stop.
Cocking and fucking and jucking in January. Cocking and freaking. It's almost 2020. Freaking.
It's almost 2020. I'm hearing a lot of cocking and freaking, and I'm not really sure what that means. That's my concern. Ooh, I want to see 2020. Yeah, the 20s are volume 3. The next guy gets that. Oh no, you gotta leave. Why? I'm not putting 3 decades in one shot. Shit's hard enough without having to look like I'm in my 30s the rest of my life. Alright, that's fair. Dude, go have the greatest 10 years ever. So, do I just go back here? Oh no, that's 2000. You don't wanna just leave that. You go. Yeah. Enjoy that shit, buddy.
There was a night when I let go. I gave up the fight. I'd never know the peace I have, the peace I hold. Night I cried, almost so. I can never stop believing that was just my choice, the one that took away my grieving, giving me a voice. I could easily be just a shadow, just a mess. Instead I'll make you pancakes on Mother's Day, no less. There was a night when I let go. I gave up the fight. I'd never know